The Allegheny Journal is very lucky to grab Gayle Hillert on this special day. It's Friday, the day before Heritage Day in Clifton Forge, and it's all due to this lady and her late husband John, who came up with the idea in about 2010 or 2011. Gayle, can you tell us, how did this whole concept develop?
I sure can. It was a cooperative effort, and it did begin talking. We began talking to Teresa Hammond from the Chamber, and John and Mary Jo Mormon, who had a Scottish and Irish store here in Clifton Forge. And we met at the amphitheater, and John had been involved in a cultural festival where we had lived before. So we started talking, and this kind of began as an idea from that cultural festival to really start appreciating and letting people know about this wonderful heritage and history of the Allegheny Highlands. And it is an Allegheny Highlands event. It encompasses so many people from the different areas and so many talented people who do their crafts and their demonstrations and their musical events, and the food is wonderful, out of this world.
Gayle, the concept, you may have picked it up from another similar event elsewhere, but as you said, artisans, photography, food, music, and now I believe the Masonic Theater, which you've also been part and parcel of getting to be renovated. You're going to have these special events with the Quilt of Valor, and there's going to be a What's Your Story event?
Yes.
Can you talk about that just briefly?
Yes, I'd love to, because the festival has evolved. Our first year, we charged $5 for our entrance fee, and we had 200 people attend. The second year, we dropped the fee, we moved it to the spring, late spring, and we kept building every year. So last year, we had 2,500 people, and had a wonderful event. So it's grown, it's evolved, it's turned from just let's make it Scottish and Irish, which is our heritage, to involving Native Americans and Afro-Americans and English. So every year we have changed it, and now we're working sort of in conjunction with the Virginia Commission, and they started the World War I and World War II events, so that led to the whole veteran emphasis. And so we're having Quilts of Valor, which is going to recognize 3 local veterans, and this is a national foundation. They've done over 100,000 quilts, and they bring them to an area and they do a ceremony and they wrap the veterans in this quilt. I'm getting chills right now talking about it. And then there's Remembering Green Pastures. I went to a historical meeting, the Allegheny Historical Society, and they were talking about green pastures, and I thought, where has this been? I didn't know about it, and then I found out, built in the 1930s by the Conservation Corps. Let's put this in Allegheny Highlands Heritage Day and Railroad Festival. So we are going to have a group of storytellers up on the stage of the Masonic Theater, and they're going to talk about their memories of green pastures. And we have a book that the What's Your Story committee has written, and we're ready to premiere that as well.
So Gayle, you went from 4 initial people to a virtual local and regional army putting on this. That's amazing.
What I really should do a shout out to is our volunteers. We have over 125 volunteers to make this day possible.
Wow.
We have a committee who is chaired by Mott Atherholt, bless her heart. She took over the reins after John couldn't do it any longer, and she's brought in her whole family, her extended family, to help with this. So we could not do this without our volunteers and our sponsors.
And I have to stop asking questions because Gayle is in the middle of getting this all together with her friends.
Yes, we're going to the library. That's our research center, and we're going to be setting this up with all kinds of exhibits from World War I and World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. So it's a place to come and visit.
Thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been my pleasure.